For a few years now, some of my clients have been seeing a potential of a comet's tail going in front of the sun. I'm just wondering if this is happening potentially with this comet or with the Three Eye Atlas, or if that's just maybe not going to happen, or what you see as far as that.
There are variation in perceptions in how it will be seen. Some of those perceptions come from separate timelines. Not all timelines will see it that way.
Are the timelines solidifying like in very separate ways? I mean, could you tell me how different two of these timelines may be?
All timelines are different. You'd say there's a myriad of timelines, all based on free will. Each sovereign being is determining their reality and their path. This creates a string or a timeline of their trajectory. Collective consciousness occurs as one being exchanges their timeline verbally or in other formats with another being. That being might opt into that frequency that combines that timeline. So there are a myriad of timelines, but there are some major timelines where more beings have opted into them. This creates some large-scale timelines that we talk about more commonly, but all timelines, all beings have the ability now to choose their own path, which creates their own reality. This impacts what they see, what they feel, and how they perceive it. Much as we talked about the zodiac, the observer is now determining their own reality, which means they do not have to opt into other realities if they do not choose to.
How do you change the reality that you're in?
Frequency. With intent, thinking about the reality that you want to opt into and then resonating with it will shift you on a quantum level to connect with that timeline. This may be a timeline where you have picked up information from someone else and you are opting into their timeline based on their description of it, but you will still walk your own path. Or you can create your own. Based on your own will, you can create a path forward that only you may observe. As connected creatures, we tend to share, which spreads the ability for others to see each other's timelines or take part in them. It is not one solid timeline. You can move between timelines at any time that you want by shifting your frequency and intent. Right now, there are some major timelines that everyone is bouncing between, which is causing a lot of fatigue. This is based on their frequency.
Can you tell me about that? What are the major timelines that people are bouncing between?
Separation between the third, which many of you still have access to. View and feel. Until you cease in observing it, it will still exist in your reality, but it is not your reality. The other two major timelines, which are frequently associated with the fourth and fifth, but are not limited to just dimensions. Just for clarity, the fourth will continue down the path of technology externalizing, mostly likened to the grays. Orion energies are very heavy still at play within that. Fifth dimension, you will see others shift into realities that have already existed, that have always existed parallel to this timeline. With the frequency shift, they will now be able to visibly see, interact, and start to experience the fifth dimension. This will bring in new aspects of this reality which you did not previously see or feel. This may include new buildings, new people, new connections that did not exist in your reality before. As you shift into it, if you were to look backwards in what you consider linear time, it would be as though you always existed there because your entire timeline shifted. There's been a lot of confusion among people right now with timeline shifts.
Hey, so you can look back and actually see the timeline change, you mean? Like as you're shifting?
As you look back, what you consider history or what happened before your present moment will shift with you. Your past today might look different than your past tomorrow. What you are seeing today is not a feuding of people or ideologies. It's a feuding of timelines. As people are looking to their past or future, each person is seeing something different. This is where it stems as the source of the issue of most tension today. People are speaking from different timelines.
That's so fascinating. So really that's an issue that people are facing right now. So really we create our own timeline, our own reality. But how do you, like, say I wanted to shift my frequency into a higher one? What could I do?
Stillness. Stillness is the source of being able to shift your frequency into the highest timeline. Light does not need movement. It needs to broadcast. The clearer the broadcast, the quicker the adjustments to your intent. The more still you become, the clearer your field becomes, the quicker you are able to manifest your own reality. You will only find that within the still point of light.
Oh, that was incredibly helpful. Thank you so much. So some people are concerned that the three-eye atlas may cause like asteroids to hit the Earth. Is this a potential?
No, this is not the intention. It is accessing Earth's layers to observe it. It is gaining information. It is pulling data from your fields, from your grid of Earth. This is informing what it needs to adjust. Information is pulled in, adjustments are made, and this is distributed into the sun to broadcast back out. This is an upgrade. It is a cleaning process. It is a final attempt. There is a great separation happening now. And the trajectory of the third dimension sped up tremendously. This is forcing some intervention, whereas intervention doesn't normally occur. This is intentional. It is to assist with the progression of those who do not want to be entangled in the two different pathways. The two pathways being the separation from the old earth, the souls who have opted in to cycle another cycle, from those who have chosen to separate from the previous cycle and enter a new cycle.
Okay.
Atlas focusing on helping both.
Okay. So very interesting. And you said it's an intervention. Can you tell me where this three-eye atlas is actually coming from and who is behind this?
Many who are behind it are ones that you would be familiar with. It is a joined consciousness, not separate beings, as though they are riding it like a spaceship, but more consciously infused within it. Atlas itself is conscious. It holds the consciousness of Pleiadians and some Pleiadian reptilian hybrid who have been converted over time. Ashtar Command is helping to guide. Andromedons help to guide it. They help mask what it looks like. It is a ship they were involved in constructing. Arcturian, the glyphs and the keys, the codes, they are the ones working with the algorithms. They are the ones infusing the information of what's coming through. Syrians are pulling the information from Earth. Arcturians are working with that information to make the adjustments. The Adians are softening the membrane of Earth and the people to accept it. They each have their own role. Ashtar is watching over it as a military base. Their role is only protection right now.
You said the D reality is speeding up. What do you mean by that?
The original timeline of when new technologies were introduced had a 10-year trajectory. This includes artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and surveillance and monitoring connected to both. These technologies, as they were introduced, were not to outpace the consciousness. In the 10-year trajectory, it condensed to 3 to 5 years based on the speed at which it was moving. It is now outpacing consciousness.
What do you mean?
When technologies outpace the consciousness of those who use them, it can cause great harm. Nuclear weapons is a great example. There is concern of this again. There has been a sphere delivered to Earth with templates and codes of all life in case it gets bad. It has the ability to restart itself. The 3D world has shifted into a trajectory much faster than what was predicted. Currently, the path has been compromised as of recent. There are a lot of things happening on your planet, areas where you might look where this is heating up. There has been many attempts to uncloak the shadows. These attempts are getting more rapid. This is causing the shadows now to step forward and compromise those that they were communicating with before. Instead of communicating through, they are becoming one.
So, could you tell me about the trajectory of the 3D reality?
Right now it is in line to be consumed as energy. Many structures put around the Earth were meant to fuel and feed those who were siphoning from it. This created the paradigm in which you all lived within. Those who were born here with the ability to see beyond the structures recognized their sovereignty early. Many did not. This energy source is being challenged. You would call these it is a very small source or group that has been in the shadows. Many layers of disclosure from every angle are poking at the same location of people. Recently, there has been shifts, a choice to become a united force instead of taking orders.
Does it look like that will happen? Will we become a united force, or what will happen with these elite people?
There's a hybrid program occurring. It's a separation of power as to how they wanted to run the earth that is now connecting with what you would consider groups, draconian, gray, a variation of others, reptilian. There's a group embedded with that. They are now choosing to come together as one. Earth is a resource. All beings are resources. Everything is considered just energy. They are positioning to consume. They are not interested in releasing their source of energy. They have an agreement to consume the energy while letting beings, humans, exist. This does not always need to be the case.
So this intervention with the 3-eye atlas, because the 3D reality has sped up, what exactly is this intervention then?
For the third dimension, it is to reverse the direction in which it is going or to slow it down, allowing time for consciousness to catch up. The solar codes expand consciousness. That's why it's being distributed through the sun. For the 4D and 5D, it is expansion and awareness of the new path, a separation, a speeding up to distance the particle mixing that is happening between the third, fourth, and fifth. A recent event occurred on your planet that caused great divisiveness again. This is to force the timelines to separate very rapidly.
What event was this?
America is the focal point right now. It's a large focus on peeling back the layers of who is controlling many aspects. This is far beyond North America. This is more global. Certain groups or families have been running all aspects since the beginning of time. Some of them from your 12 families you referenced before. Beings who have existed since the start of time, but had been compromised by the dark. They shifted centuries of strategy of creating divisiveness and separation. The gatekeepers is the layer that you are looking at now, what are considered the hidden layer above the elite. That level is getting a lot of pressure through different touch points, through Epstein, through the trial of P. Diddy, through disclosure of UFO, through government hidden programs. The reality has been created based on layers of this over time. Divisiveness between groups in a polarity-based planet keeps them at odds with each other. They do not look at the layers above when they can only see each other and the anger for each other. As information has been starting to surface, this was creating a union. The majority of the beings on Earth started to see things together as one. Trends and themes of energies you see across multiple countries at once. It is not separate. It is all shared. When people see things as one, they come together. They start to decode things quicker. They compare stories. There was a great interest in throwing off the speed at which this was happening. This is considered a great diversion. This is not outside of anything that's been done before for the sake of diversion, but it is coming from a new compromised state.
So it was a diversion tactic, you were saying, to kind of polarize people instead of bring them together?
The repolarization was needed for the sake of time. The negotiations with these layers above, which are heavily influenced by draconian reptilian energies. There is a negotiation, many renegotiations in the past few months. This was an agreement made ahead of time. There's too much consciousness rising. The awareness is much like kinetic energy. It impacts many. When one rises in awareness, many rise in awareness. This is to stunt that.
Tell me more about so interesting. Thank you for that. So the technology advanced too fast for humanity.
Yes.
I see. Okay. So is using this technology then dangerous or no?
It is just a tool. The intent is what determines if it's dangerous or not. This is why the consciousness matters so much. Conscious awareness and understanding the responsibility of powerful tools, the two need to go hand in hand. Many species who have access to what would be considered higher dimensional technologies is because they have, in terms, been entrusted with it, have gained access to it. Much as your consciousness field expands over time and gains access to new information and data, it works the same. As consciousness expands, part of that data and awareness includes new technological advancements. As things have been collected over the decades, technological advancements that were not earned through consciousness. There's been many attempts to reverse engineer these. Many of them do not work because the consciousness does not match.
I see. So the technology is advancing too fast, and humanity needs to develop their own consciousness. Well, is this what happened with the Greys then?
Yes, Greys continued down a path of technological advancement, externalized. There are many forms of technology. Mechanical, biological, different tiers are achieved through consciousness and advancement. As Greys were becoming older, their biological bodies were not able to keep up. This is why they started to work on transferring consciousness to a new unit. Biologically, they were able to create new units, beings, bodies. Transferring consciousness did not transfer the soul. As they were making technological advancements, they were also removing their souls. To liken it to a video game where you now have access to every cheat code. You now have access to everything you want to possibly create, which can be created technologically, externalized, but they could not advance their consciousness any further because they were not earning it without the soul. This resulted in many what you would consider abductions, attempts to hybrid, to breed the soul back into the lineage. There is great interest in humans because we are following the same path in that fourth dimension, as well as those not taking that path. They are observing both.
So why do they abduct people then? What exactly do they do? They create hybrids so that how do they try to get back into this?
There are many attempts, some through DNA, some through hybridization, through birth. This creates the ability to birth a soul, two beings coming together and making an agreement to create a body for a soul to embody it, bringing the soul back in. These are considered the gray hybrids. There are many attempts that did not work. From a genetic and DNA level, those that they abducted were already part of their soul families. The humans did not recall because of the veil. This caused trauma, but it was a pre-negotiated agreement before coming to Earth.
Why would people agree?
That was part of their soul family, soul alignment that already existed within the Greys prior to coming to Earth. There was an agreement to enter the program to assist with the hybridization efforts that were happening. These are no longer happening.
They're not. Wow. What about government abductions? Are they still going on?
Yes.
Tell me about this. Why?
There are many layers of abductions happening within government. Which one are you interested in?
What are they doing? Like, what's the one that you see as far as most common?
Most common are the ones that have been picked up from UFO site, what you would consider a crash site. There are biological bodies that have been collected, obtained from this. Some alive, some are not alive. They are used for study, awareness, understanding. There is a jurisdiction agreement between government and those who are protecting them that allow this to occur.
What about the abductions with the government?
We would consider those agreements more than abductions. There are active agreements in place, even if the soul does not remember. There were agreements. The pathway to becoming part of the military, part of the government, part of the structure has been long determined as their path from the soul agreement before arriving here. They are carrying out what was already agreed upon. The structure is maintained across many generations. The structure that maintains the agreements is not completely human.
Tell me about this.
Speaking from the third timeline, third dimension, there is still a structure in place, primarily draconian and reptilian, with an assistance of some greys.
So, like, the abductions that go on with the government are Actually extraterrestrial?
Yes, some in open view, meaning both parties fully aware, some cloaked. The ones that are cloaked, they see them as individuals operating in the shadows of government directing them, unaware of their connections and energetic influences. Others are working directly with, fully aware.
So what are they doing with the population that they take?
In short, harnessing energy. We feed their grid.
I see. Okay. Interesting.
This does not exist in the fourth or fifth.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. So as far as the most probable future from this moment forward or the different major timelines, what does it look like?
Vastly different.
Could you tell me about it?
Generalizing them into the dimensions for the sake of simplicity. The third dimension is in the most turmoil. It is determining now how to proceed. It either proceeds as a resource that will be consumed as a whole, or continuing life within it in its next cycle to allow the harnessing of energies to continue as they always were. They are at a nexus point. They have not decided, but they are at a more critical point than they've ever been before. Fourth dimension will continue to externalize technology, following a similar path. Certain figures will help lead that path, many of them being technology focused. They will continue to make advancements and repeat a lot of the similar steps that were taken from the Greys. They have a great interest in not transitioning, dying. This is going to drive many of their advancements. This separates sovereignty from soul technology. It keeps the user, the being, looking external in place of internal. This is a slow path to learning, but it is allowed. The fifth will very quickly start to overlap into the seventh. Many of the beings who have opted into the new Earth, as it's termed by some, they are entering a field that has the ability to expand them quickly. They will reconnect with soul communities that they recognize from resonance, not face. They will share information and exchange information that will build the new unified field of expansion. This field operates in light. That path will move from physical to non-physical. Each being will choose within this lifetime if they will transition through light or transition by releasing their body. This will be a new choice.
When does it look like that will happen?
2032 is where concepts begin. 2040, between 2032 to 2040, there will be experimentations that begin to occur. Crossing through portals, an adjustment through light. The inner key is your own resonance. Your resonance will create these opportunities. This is a reconnection with soul technology. You are the frequency. Everything that you want to experience is within you, not outside of you.
Who are we really?
Energy and light. We are made up of many. We are a collective imprint of many energetic pulses brought together to create a new experience. This is the connection to all. You are everything. As you follow it back, it is like following back branches to the tree. Some you have closer connection to within the timelines, but you eventually connect to all.
Oh, thank you so very, very much.